Which truck is a better buy for $60,000? This low mileage Ranger Raptor or this higher mileage Ram TRX? The Young Ford in Ogden's providing us with both of these vehicles. Link to the website in the description down below. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Dominic. Let's get right into it. Powering the TRX is a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. It produces 702 horsepower and then 650 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy, don't worry about it. The Ranger Raptor has a turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic, producing 405 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is going to be mid to high teens depending on how you drive it. If you want more straight-to-the-point comparisons like this, make sure you subscribe. Now, the TRX is a full-size pickup truck with a lot of Raptor-style elements. I mean, you guys can see those wider fenders. You got the marker lights. I mean, look at those things there in the hood vent. You also have the hollow Ram logo. We've got recovery points down below, skid plate protection. Now, the Ranger Raptor is no slouch when it comes to styling. I mean, you can see the big chunky Ford logo. You got the skid plates, tow hooks that are very prominent. And it looks like Ford even gave you this little area where you could put marker lights if you wanted in the grille. But either way, obviously there's going to be a size difference between these two trucks. And there's also a tire difference. The TRX has 35s wrapped around 18-inch wheels, whereas the Ranger Raptor has 33s wrapped around 17-inch wheels. Funny enough, both the Ranger Raptor and the TRX have a little vent piece on the side. Now, the Ranger Raptor has those fancy off-road side steps. The TRX doesn't have anything. When it comes to suspension, the TRX has coil suspension in the back and the front solid axle in the back, and then you've got Bilstein Blackhawk shocks. It's an active adjustable system. Everything's kind of hidden with the Ranger Raptor, but you do have live valve Fox shocks with this, coil sprung front and rear, solid axle in the back, and the Fox shocks, just like the Blackhawk, are adjustable. So here's your side view of the TRX with that wide body kit. I mean, it looks very aggressive. And then here is the Ranger Raptor. Again, it's no slouch. I think the Raptor decal looks pretty cool. Now, when it comes to length, the Ranger Raptor is literally about 2.5 feet shorter than the TRX. Now, you notice we got a little bit of dust in the bed. This TRX is going to have some mileage compared to the Ranger Raptor. We'll show that a little bit later. But yeah, you've got bed liner, you've got a tonneau cover and all of that. And then this actually lifts up very easily. And would you look at that, the Ranger Raptor actually has bed liner. This is a first. Ford usually doesn't have bed liner in most of their trucks when I review them. But we do have a little ruler here on the tailgate. There's also an outlet in the bed, I just noticed. That's pretty neat. Anyways, the tailgate's also very easy. Now, the TRX again has that massive kind of wide body you see from every angle. You've got the two exhaust tips underneath, also with the spare tire, very sporty looking. And the Ranger Raptor has a very similar kind of setup with the off-road bumper, the exhaust tips, recovery points, spare tire underneath. All that's like the same. Legroom in the TRX is fantastic. I also have these reclining seats. I mean, you could live back here, but you might have to with the car payment, you know what I mean? Anyways, little storage pocket there. We've got some carbon fiber, vents, USB ports, heated ventilated seats, got a full power outlet. And I love this. The seats are really nice. They've held up really well over the mileage that this truck has. Same thing with the trim on the door panel, which looks really fancy. Power sliding rear window with this, and then there is a panoramic sunroof. Now, in the back of the Ranger Raptor, I do technically fit back here. It's just not nearly as cozy. You might sadly have to buy a house if you buy one of these. But we do have a little storage pocket. Got some USB ports with an outlet. And this is basically a new truck, so the seats are in new condition. So a lot nicer. But the trim isn't obviously as fancy as the TRX. We do still get a power sliding rear window. Now, we've got these power folding trailer mirrors with blind spot warning in the TRX. You've got more really nice trim up front as well. And again, you got the power folding mirror function, memory seats. I bet they have about the same payload, $1228 for the TRX. But anyways, you got the front seat with the TRX logo on it. I mean, beautiful leather, power adjustable. And you've got a bunch of controls here on the side, like the pedal adjustment. The steering wheel is actually manual. And would you look at that, almost 80,000 miles on this thing. But boom! Got a fun little animation. Gauge cluster is partially analog, partially digital. Very customizable in terms of the center info. But yeah, the steering wheel, I mean, you guys can hopefully see the wear on camera, right, from hands, oils, and all of that. So again, higher mileage vehicle, you're gonna have more wear and tear on the interior. Paddles on the back. We have radio controls, adaptive cruise control with regular cruise. You've got your controls for that center stack right there. Now, it's not like this is an ancient vehicle. You still have stuff like a 360 camera system, and I like how the heated ventilated seat controls pop up with the camera. But yeah, this is, I think, Ram's best infotainment system. I had this unit when I had a TRX. It's quick to respond. Everything functions really well. And yeah, you just don't get the lag of the newer units. I mean, look how quick that is with all the touch responses. All of our drive modes here, launch control. We've got a full-time four-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case for your diff lock as well. Got all of your auxiliary switches and everything off to the side. You also have off-road cruise control, trailer brake controls. You get a real shifter in the TRX. You also have the TRX plaque there. And good storage inside too. Center console, I definitely like that whole setup. Camera rear view mirror in this, and then you got the controls for the windows and everything. And I almost forgot to mention, you've got the cool TRX decal, but yeah, look at the trim. Inside, really nice leather all throughout. There's even a heads-up display. Blind spot warning with the Ranger Raptor, obviously, you know, just kind of smaller mirrors in general. Again, the trim, although not as fancy as the TRX, gonna be brand new. Pretty much. We've got our power folding mirror function. You've got memory seats too. $13.37 for the payload. Yep, I was correct. Anyways, you've got Raptor here on the seats. Look at that, really sporty looking. You got your power adjustments and everything on the side too. And this interior is really fun. So full digital with the gauge cluster. They did that for the later years of the TRX, but yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit more customizable in that sense. The steering wheel is really nice. You got paddles there on the back, and then if you kind of look here on the side, got the perforated leather. Look at that, it's like brand new. Because yeah, Raptor logo. And I guess I should show the mileage on this, 6,000 miles. But again, if you look at a Ranger Raptor, the new MSRP is about this. The used ones just go for so much money because there's so much demand for these Ranger Raptors. Anyways, 360 camera system, look at that. So, I mean, tech's gonna be pretty similar on both these. One thing that's different on this a little bit is some of the off-road stuff is in this, like a lot of the off-road stuff's in the screen. It does have a front diff lock. The TRX only had a rear differential lock, but yeah, it has off-road cruise control and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, way fewer physical buttons. I mean, you just have the climate control set up down below, which is kind of interesting. And look at that, they use the same icon for the climate as they did for the volume on that little thing, so that's gonna confuse people maybe. Got the little shifter here, fully kind of like electronic looking setup. Shortcut buttons down below for like the off-road stuff. And then this has a part-time four-wheel drive system, but it has auto, so I don't know, I kind of think it's just as good as what you're gonna get with the TRX. Got pretty good storage there, nice trim on the top. No sunroof with this, but we do have a bunch of auxiliary switches. Now that TRX is a 2021, that Ranger Raptor is a 2025. I showed you guys the mileage. Price-wise, these both are at about $59,000 for the asking price. So let's take them out and see which one performs the best. Let's set off in the Ranger Raptor first, and then we'll drive the TRX second. So, I know this might seem like a weird comparison, and if you guys want to see more weird comparisons like this, of course, just let me know. But I think it's kind of fun to just take a price point and take two cool vehicles at that price point and see which one kind of wins. Because this is what people do, right? I think that people kind of forget that money is a thing. And so it's like, oh, those aren't in the same segment. It's like, okay, well, someone can get approved for a $60,000 loan, or someone has $60,000 of cash. Which should they buy? Should they go for like an older used TRX, or basically brand new? Or again, you could get a brand new Ranger Raptor if you can get one at an MSRP. Hard to find, but this is nice. I love how the Ranger Raptor drives. If I wasn't doing that long-term test on the LX, I've thought about this, the like perfect two-car, I shouldn't say perfect, but in my opinion, one of the best two-car garages that you could do that I would love to do would be this and a Honda Civic Type R. You guys can make fun of me all you want, but this thing is fantastic off-road. Mid-size pickup trucks with the wheelbase and the size are so good off-road because you got a long wheelbase, you stretch out over the obstacles. Breakover angle can be a little bit of an issue here and there. That's one downside, but breakover angle aside, you stretch out over the obstacles, and so it makes things really easy. Like, this thing is insanely capable. It's got a diff lock front and rear, and then you have a little fun car that gets a little bit better gas mileage, right? So you get the best of both worlds. But yeah, this is so good. I mean, this is comfortable. The seats are comfortable. And the thing I like about these turbo V6s, or just turbo engines in general, is, you know, they can have some okay sounds to them. Not the best, but okay sounds. But then they're also quiet at the same time. So you get kind of, you know, some nice sounds here and there, and then you do get some peace and quiet for daily driving. Man, there's a lot of traffic. So I don't know, I think you kind of get the best of both. Man, these seats are, Ford does such a good job with their seats. These seats are very comfortable. I really like them. I really do. I mean, you get a little bit of blow-off noise. Again, it kind of sounds like a fart can a little bit because it's a turbo V6, but it's not bad. I like it. I think it's a fun setup. Yeah, and see, this has more than enough torque. You've got enough where you can just kind of very partial throttle, comfortably drive around. And because this is a mid-size pickup truck, right? It's tossable, goes around corners well, all that stuff. It's fun because of that. Yeah, look at that. Just barely in the throttle, and it's just... And again, we're not going super quick because of this Durango. Don't know what they're doing. But... Yeah, and the steering is super tight. Man, I have never seen someone drive so slow before in my life. Like, we're going consistently, like we're still going still going over 10 miles under the speed limit. Oh, well. I've driven the Ranger Raptor plenty. I'm not going to have you guys have to watch me sit behind someone who doesn't know how to, like, why that slow? I get that there's a red light coming up. You could go a little bit faster than that. You could go just a little bit faster than that. Yeah, it's a great truck. I think it's still the best mid-size pickup truck. I mean, nobody else is doing a turbo V6 like this. Nobody has the power, the suspension. This is the top dog for a reason. There's a reason why people are willing to pay over MSRP for these. So much power. It's such a fun truck. So let's go pop in the TRX. Well, let's set off in Mr. TRX. This is pretty similar to what I owned. I mean, I didn't have the trailer mirrors. And mine had like the, you know, chase rack in the back and the factory chase rack thing. Or sport bar as they might call it. This sounds good. I will tell you, as much as I love that turbo V6, in isolation it's fantastic. But yeah, as soon as you get into a supercharged V8, gas mileage aside, beautiful. The sound is great. The torque is otherworldly. I mean, it's just instant response and a wall of torque. There's nothing else quite like a supercharged V8. I mean, maybe like an NA V10 or V12, but supercharged V8s are crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the sound. Now, the thing is funny is this doesn't really feel like it's faster per se than the Ranger Raptor. I mean, the Ranger Raptor feels very quick. It's got, again, it has like 300 horsepower less than the TRX, but it also weighs substantially less. I mean, this weighs, if I remember right, about 6,200, no, it's more than that. It's like 6,400 pounds, roughly. That Ranger Raptor is going to be like 5,000 pounds, if that. So, yeah, it's got 300 less horsepower, but it's also got like almost a ton less weight to move. So, completely different world. Now, I will say, some of the, like the turn signal stock, kind of like the trim feels like it's kind of loosening up in the TRX. I mean, the center console kind of moves a bit. And that's the thing, is once you go up to higher mileage, things are not going to be glued down as tightly as they once were, especially with American cars. They just, I love American cars, but you know, we don't really know how to build stuff that lasts anymore, sadly, when it comes to trim quality and everything. Ah, the supercharged V8 sound. It's so good. Now this thing feels massive. Again, it's full-size pickup truck. It's like 2.5 feet longer. It's a lot wider than the Ranger Raptor. I think it's like a full foot wider almost than the Ranger Raptor. You feel the size, but you also get like way more space in here. It's more comfortable in that sense. The seats, I actually think the Ranger Raptor seats are more comfortable, believe it or not. So that's interesting. This does have, if I remember right, Yep, oops. The window went all the way down. I was just double checking. Yeah, it does have double pane windows up front. So that helps out with the noise insulation. Now, something that's crazy about this is this has so much torque that you basically just like, not even the throttle at all. You're just like barely humming on that thing. It's fun. It's certainly fun. So, do you get a used TRX that's a few years old, or do you get a basically brand new Ranger Raptor? And I mean, obviously space is space, and this is an enthusiast kind of decision, right? It's like, do you go for the crazy V8, or do you get something that's still crazy but less so? I like both trucks. Obviously, if I needed this space, it's like, I don't know, like as a car enthusiast, it's like, okay, well, maybe you get like a practical car that has space rather than getting a supercharged V8 that, although very fun, is not going to be practical with gas mileage and everything. I kind of lean towards the Ranger Raptor. And that's the thing about like these super high performance vehicles, is they get to a point where, and this engine's pretty darn reliable. That's the one thing. This engine's really reliable, but they do get to a point where you're like, I don't know if I want to be the dude with a 100,000 mile high performance vehicle. Because like, if you bought it brand new, then you know exactly what's happened to it. But like, God only knows how this thing's been driven. How many times has that happened? Like, how much wear does this engine have? You know what I mean? So that's the one thing, is it's like, it could either be really good, you could have a ton of fun for way less than original MSRP, or it could be really bad where you buy it and then you got to buy a new engine, and because, you know, the previous owner or owners just rallied the crap out of it. It's just it's a roll of the dice. So let me know your thoughts.